Hey physics friends, and welcome to 17.2, which I've entitled Reflecting a Ray off Plane Mirror using a compass, one of these things, and a straight edge. And I'm just using a straight edge that's a rectangle, a triangle. So what you're going to be given is you're going to be given a ray, a laser light, anything, and it's going to be hitting a mirror here, and then it's going to be bouncing off that mirror. And so what you're going to be end up doing is taking that incident ray and reflecting it off of the mirror. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be following these procedures right here. How to construct a reflected ray off of a mirror with a compass and a straight edge. And I think that I passed this out to you, and so you can have this kind of nearby as we're going through. Here are my big tips that after teaching this for 10 years, watching people get poor results basically boils down to these 4 ideas. Number one, your compass absolutely cannot be sloppy. If you take your compass and if you hold on to one of the arms or legs and it flops, you're automatically going to get poor results from that. It needs to be like mine has like a you can turn this wheel here and it's very reliable. If yours is floppy, there are things we can do to tighten that up. There's usually a rivet that we can take. I have a ball-peened hammer and we can hit it to like expand that rivet to put a little more friction on it. Or maybe there's a screw where this thing pivots and you can tighten that screw. But number one, you absolutely cannot have a sloppy compass. Number two, your pencil and your compass need to be sharp. Take your pencil over to the pencil sharpener, and it needs to have a needle edge on that. Really important. As you're drawing lines, people tend to just dig their pencil and they draw this really thick line. Don't do that. When you draw your lines, grab the end of your pencil and then twist your pencil as you're drawing, and that actually will sharpen your pencil as you use it. If you don't twist your pencil, it just will file this chisel point on the end, and thick lines lead to not precise measurements. Draw light lines. Light lines are easy to erase and they're still able to be seen, so don't go making a dark line. You're going to see me demonstrate all these 4 things as we go through this today. So, can't be sloppy, you need to have a sharp pencil, twist that pencil and don't push very hard. Grab the end of your pencil. So here we go. We're going to start working our way through this. So, number one, before I even do that, my incident ray isn't going to intersect my mirror, so I'm just going to extend my incident ray. So, I'm going to line this up as close as I can, and I'm twisting my pencil. And I actually went through, and that's okay if you go through your mirror line. That's not a problem. Just make sure that you hit it. So the next step open my compass to a large random span, put the pointy part on the intersection of the ray and the mirror, and strike 2 small arcs on either side. And here's kind of a little diagram of what I'm about to do. So I'm going to open up my compass to some random span. It doesn't matter what it is. It just can't go off your paper. So bigger is always better. But right now, I'm going to put the pointy part as precise as I can right there, and I'm going to strike 2 small arcs on either side, like this. Now, if my arc was too big, it would go off my mirror, and I could extend my mirror, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to make them really close by. Very small measurements make for very imprecise in the end. So, now we're going to open our compass to a larger span. We're going to put the pointy part on the intersection of those small arcs we just created in step 1 in the mirror. Strike a large arc above the mirror and repeat this for the other arc you just created. So I'm going to go back over to my drawing. I'm going to open up my compass to a larger arc. And then I put the pointy part down here at this intersection, and I'm going to strike an arc above. And then it's really important that I keep the same arc. Don't move your compass at all. This is where sloppy compasses will get you in trouble. Strike an arc here so you have an intersection. Notice how my lines are, you can barely see them from where you're at. Draw the normal. Connect that intersection of the 2 arcs we just created with the intersection of the ray and the mirror. label it the normal. And we're going to do it with a long, short, long pattern. So I'm going to go over here. From the intersection that we just created to this intersection down here, this is a perfect 90-degree angle. So I'm going to take out my straight edge. And I'm going to go, again, grabbing the end of my pencil, twisting it long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. And then when I go through, I'm going to make sure I go all the way through. I don't leave a gap where my intersection is. And when you look at that, one of the biggest mistakes that I see, and I'm going to zoom you in here, is that intersection isn't all through one point. It needs to be perfectly through the same point. If all three of these lines aren't going through exactly one point, you're going to get not good answers. So you have to make sure that you're making a very good drawing, taking your time, making nice lines. All right, so that was phase one. I just constructed the normal, and I'm going to label it normal. Like this. The next part, copying the incident angle. So this angle that's here, this is my incident angle. I'm going to copy this angle to the other side. So open your compass to a large random span, put the pointy part at the intersection of the incident ray and the mirror, and strike an arc through the incident angle, through the normal, to the other side of the normal. So here, I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to open it up to a nice big large random span. It's really big. I'm going to put the pointy part down here at this intersection. And I'm going to strike an arc that goes through the normal. And I didn't do a really good job, so I'm going to have to extend my normal here, and I have to be really careful. So I've extended my normal so that it intersects that arc that I just did. Okay, we're going to measure the incident angle. Put the pointy part at the intersection of the incident ray and the arc you just drew in step 4. Open the compass to the exact span where the normal intersects the arc you just drew. So I'm going to head over here. So what I'm going to actually be doing is I'm going to be measuring this span right here with my compass. My compass doubles as kind of a measuring device. So I'm going to put my pointy part at the intersection here. It doesn't really matter where you can put your pointy part here, or you can put your pointy part over here. But I'm going to put my pointy part on that intersection up here, just like this. And now I'm going to start turning my dial on my compass to program in this distance. So I'm not quite there yet. See, I'm a little bit big. I'll dial it in. That's pretty good. So now I have that distance programmed into my compass. Like this distance right here has been programmed into my compass. Now I just flip my compass around, put it over here, strike an arc. Now, this span from here to here is the same as this span from there to there because I programmed it into my compass. Do not move your compass. Place the pointy part at the intersection of the normal and the arc. That's what we just did. And we strike a small arc on the opposite side. Right there. That's what it looks like. Draw the reflected ray. Connect the intersections that we just created in step 6 to the intersection of the incident ray and the mirror. Label it as the reflected ray. So what we're going to do, we're going to connect this spot that we just made to this intersection here. So we take our straight edge. I'm going to put my pencil down to help me. And then I'm going to twist my pencil, grab really high in the pencil, twisting it as I draw. And now I'm going to put an arrowhead here. I'm going to label this as the reflected ray. Now, this took me about 10 minutes to do because I was explaining it to you all. I'm going to do the whole process one more time, except I'm going to be talking my way through it, doing it at normal pace. This takes maybe a minute if you're good. So let's try it all the way from start to finish one more time. So here's what I'm starting with. I have an incident ray and I've got my mirror. First thing I want to do is make sure that my incident ray intersects my mirror. So twisting my pencil as I do this, I make the incident ray reflected. Now I'm going to take my compass and I want to open it up to a nice big span, but right now I think my span's going off my mirror. So I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller. I make sure that I'm right on that intersection as best I can, strike an arc on both sides, like that. Now I'm going to open my compass to a really large span, put the intersection here, strike an arc above, and then I'm going to come to the other side, put it on that intersection, strike another arc, very light lines. Now, that's my normal, so I'm going to connect this intersection to that intersection of my arcs, and I'm going to go long, short, long, that pattern. This is known as a construction line in the engineering biz. Now, when I cross, I want to make sure I do a solid line. Don't leave any gaps when you go through that. Next thing I need to do is copy. This is the normal, so I'll label it. I'm going to copy this angle. So I'm going to adjust my compass so that I go exactly through one of my solid lines. So I'm going to open this up so I know that I'm going to hit that this time instead of what I did last time. Okay, so now I'm going to measure the span from here to there. I'm going to copy this angle. So this is copying an angle. So I'm going to put my pointy part of my compass right there. I'm going to open my compass. That looks good. Rotate it around here. Strike an arc. That's where my reflected ray is going to travel through. So I put my pencil there. And again, grabbing the end of the pencil, twisting my pencil as I do it. There's my reflected ray. Now, when you guys do this, we're going to be able to test your accuracy with a laser and a mirror. I'm just going to flop a mirror down right here where you drew your mirror, and I have a laser that will just shine, and we'll see how good you do. Again, a lot of the mistakes, people are like, why didn't I get exactly what I was supposed to get? Number one, not sharp pencil. Number two, floppy compass. Number three, your compass pencil isn't sharp. Number four, your lines aren't straight. Number five, I really will look right here. I'll zoom into that to make sure that all of these lines are going through exactly one point. These are some of the things you can do to keep yourself accurate. What I'd like you to do, I'd like you to do this process on your notes 2 more times. So you should have 4 of them. So do one with me, do 2 more, just so you can get this process down. Look at your notes if you need to. Your notes being these things right here. But I'd like you to do this. This process didn't take me very long, but do it a couple more times on your notes when you submit them. Have a good day.